So adversity or failure is the greatest gift of all because it builds the foundation. It builds the resilience muscle. So you don't have to go backwards anymore.
Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. We are your hosts, Michael and Courtney Weaver. And in today's episode, we are talking about how failure is the best gift, the best teacher you can have in your life.
Yeah. How are we going to start this? How are we going to kick it off?
Well, shit, man. Like nothing, like think about all the easy stuff that comes in your life. Do you grow from anything that is just comes easy to you?
Yeah.
Or is it the times that you are challenged, that you want to give up, that you have to just that resilient muscle, like you just have to keep going and going and going? Think about those times and what you learn from that, what comes from that.
Well, I think it's important to talk about this with what's going on in the insurance space right now.
Absolutely.
Where it feels like every day you're getting your ass kicked with rates, with customer complaints, with service, with underwriting. It's like a never ending, where is my reprieve? Where is the break? So we were talking about this, actually, we were with a big group of high performing entrepreneurs. They have multiple 7 and 8 figure businesses. And we were talking about what a gift failure is. And the question was, okay, name a time in your life where you've had something that at the time seemed like a failure, or where you couldn't get out from under this rock. You were at rock bottom, or you were just having a series of like shitty days. And what was the lesson that came from this? And these were big stories that were shared about bankruptcy, death, divorce, loss. I mean, the things that you think, oh, this is bottom. Like these are heavy things. And every single person was able to reframe and share the lesson that they learned or the gift that came on the other side of it.
And then how that then affected them positively.
Yeah.
So what felt like a huge failure in the moment at the time, the lesson learned and what they grew by going through the process and how that's helped them get to where they are today.
And then the thing that we were discussing was just what you said at the very beginning of the episode. Name a time in your life where you have grown in a positive way that wasn't a direct result of some adversity. Something. Name any time in your life where you have grown where there wasn't adversity. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It cannot happen.
Doesn't exist.
So we went down this whole conversation on the way home of how this is so important for insurance professionals right now, because it feels like adversity every single day.
And it's cyclical. What you are going through right now, those that have been in the industry for a while went through 5 years ago. And guess what? You're going to go through it again in about 3.5 to 5 years. And then again in about another 3.5 year time period. Like it is cyclical. What you're going through right now, you will experience again and again and again. So what can you learn through this time period right now? The conversations, the tough conversations. What can you learn? What can you implement going forward? What can you make sure that on the next rate cycle in 3.5 to 5 years, where you're receiving these calls, customers are wanting to leave, it's bad claims experiences, what can you make sure that you learn that puts you in a better position the next go around?
So I love to improve my skill sets. And this is where you actually get to improve your skill sets. So one of the things, if you follow us, you know that we are on the water a lot. We like to do water sports and we like to do water activities. And one of the things that I've had to learn is wakeboarding. And it's a series of challenges every single time. First, you have to learn how to get up. Then you have to learn how to stay up. Then you have to learn how to move your board. There's a lot of things that go into that. But the process, the things that you learn along the way, once you learn them, for the most part, you never have to go back and relearn them. And it's the exact same thing here. So when you are going through the tough conversations and you're having to learn how to respond with empathy, but also solve a problem, when you're having to learn what to do when your entire team walks out, when they're like, yeah, I'm not making the money I wanted to make. This is too hard. The skill sets that you're learning right now, if you think about it in perspective of, okay, in 3 years, if I learn these now and I fine tune these, I won't ever have to do this again. I will be at a different level. So when this happens again, I will already have this foundation of being able to have tough conversations, of being able to overcome objections with prices, of being able to sell based off of value, of being able to hire in an incredibly difficult talent economy. I already have the muscle. I have already built that resilience muscle. So it's just like popping up on a wakeboard. I don't have to relearn how to pop up on a wakeboard. I know how to do that. Where I'm at now is fine tuning that skill. So that's the next thing that you get to learn. So adversity or failure is the greatest gift of all because it builds the foundation. It builds the resilience muscle. So you don't have to go backwards anymore, but you have to pay attention to where the gift is. So instead of focusing on the outcome every single day, what is the progress that I've made? What have I learned today? Where am I improving? Where am I getting better? Where am I saying something that I wouldn't have said 6 months ago? Where's a conversation that feels uncomfortable, but I'm willing to ask for the sale one more time? And I wouldn't have done that 2 months ago. So then when things are easier, which they will be, because that's how rates work, there will be a time frame, and I know you might not be able to see it right now, where the floodgates will open and you will be making it rain. Rates will settle down. It'll look different. The economy will look different. Talent will look different. Think about how much better off you will be when shit is easy.
Yep. I'm with you. You have to weather the storm.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Here is the thing is when it gets easy, then you don't go back to the bad habits. You don't go back to what you've learned. More importantly, what are you going to implement so that you do take advantage of the good times, but also set yourself up for success during the tough times? That is super important to talk about. And that's why I love that we're covering this topic on today's episode. What can you learn every single day during this tough environment to set you up for success, not only in the next tough environment, but to make sure that you freaking eat during the easy during the easy periods, because it's cyclical. Like that's just part of the insurance industry. And so right now, if you have a lot of customers calling in about rates, you probably don't have a great relationship with them. That's a real possibility. Like if you're no different than anybody else, if you've never put a face with a name, why should they even do business with you? Oh, because of the company you represent? Because you're number 1, 2, or 3 in the country? Great. What does that matter to them? They do business with you. I can promise you that if you have a established relationship with a customer, they're not calling you to complain about a $5, $10, $15 a month payment increase. They're like, hey, I like Courtney. She's doing her best. If this was something that she thought was concerning, she'd be reaching out to me.
I'm going to play devil's advocate though.
Play devil's advocate. Let's talk about this.
You know me, I'm always going to do this. Yeah, that's great. And that may be the case. But if it's not, if you have a great relationship with your customers and they are still calling in over a $5 or $10 or $15 rate increase, and they might, what is the lesson there? What can you learn? What is the skill? What can you fine tune? That's where I'm speaking to, because I am all about, for me as a person, I want to be the best version of myself and serve as many people as I can. But there is a skill that I have to learn. There is confidence that I have to build, and confidence will come through reps. But I have to be met with adversity so I know where I can grow.
Absolutely.
So even if they call me and they say, hey, I love you, you're the greatest, but my bill's jacked up and I don't want to keep paying this, I am going to learn a skill set there. I am going to learn how to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn how to improve my communication, how to speak more clearly, how to problem solve, how to critical think. And then I'm going to not only do that, I'm going to show and teach the people around me how to do the exact same thing by modeling that behavior.
Love it.
So there's a lot of things that come. And I think especially when it's hard to see the forest through the trees. So when you're constantly dealing with every day and you're being worn down, I want you to think about where you were 2 or 3 years ago and everything that you have learned, the skill sets, and get really granular on that. And think about, okay, on a day-to-day basis, instead of focusing so much on the outcome of like what it looks like to get the sale or all of those things, focus on the progress that you're making in the process. I am obsessed with the process. I am obsessed with fine-tuning my skills because I know that if I focus on the stuff that nobody else wants to focus on when it's hard, that I will improve drastically. And just like you were speaking to when it gets easier not to pull back so you can eat, when it is easier, my skill set level is so much higher that I will move at warp speed.
You crush.
Yeah.
You crush.
So think of this as a gift of fine tuning all of these resilient muscles. And it transfers in your personal life.
Yep. But it's a mindset shift.
Yeah.
It is a mindset shift. You have to be willing to, number one, be vulnerable enough. And number two, be aware enough that, hey, right now, this sucks. This is a problem. What can I learn? What is my takeaway? What am I being taught right now?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm being tested. What's the reason I'm being tested?
That's right.
What can I take from this? Where is the gift? No matter in the worst circumstances, find the opportunity to find a gift, a lesson, something.
Amen. You got anything else to add to this?
I was so fired up, and it was incredible because there was a direct correlation between high performers and incredibly successful people and their ability to take even the worst circumstances and say, yeah, this sucked. It was awful. I grieved. I went through loss. I was embarrassed. I felt like a failure. I had to let people down. But on the other side, I would not be the person that I am today if I didn't have to go through that. And they were able to recognize the skill sets, the things that they learned, the tools that they grabbed, the improved versions of themselves. So start looking for that in the process.
So to help you start looking for it, I would actually ask you the same exact question. What is the biggest failure that you would say that you've experienced in your life? And what is your biggest takeaway from it?
So good.
That's all I got.
Me too. You let her go on this one.
I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as us. And again, please, I really, really would encourage you to really think about that and process it. Like, what is the biggest failure that I went through in my life, and what is the biggest takeaway? What did I learn from it? And how is that helping me, or how is that helping you today? So, as always, time is the most valuable and important asset that we all have. We appreciate you spending time with us today. If you enjoyed the episode, and if you have not told your friends about the Insurance Buzz, make sure you share it. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. Shoot me a text. I want to hear from you, 816-727-7610. Other than that, go out and make it a great day.